Two lectures today. Bhagavatam and initiation lecture. Special double mercy today. So, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 4th Canto, chapter 20, texts 35 and 36. I'll just read the verses and speak. We won't do responsive today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Devarshipitigandarvasiddhi charanapannaga Kinarapsaro Martya Kagapujanamekshakasha Yageshvara Dira Ragya Vangvatanjali Bhaktita Sabhajita Yayusarve Vaikunta Nanugastata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Om Vishnu Pad Padamahamsa Pativajakacharya Astatara Satashi Śrīmad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tri Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. King Prishu worshipped the demigods, the great sages, the inhabitants of Pitriloka, the inhabitants of Gandharva Loka, and those of Siddha Loka, Charana Loka, Panaka Loka, Kinnara Loka, Apsara Loka, the earthly planets, and the planets of the birds. He also worshipped many other living entities who presented themselves in the sacrificial arena. With folded hands, he worshipped all these, as well as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the personal associates of the Lord by offering sweet words and as much wealth as possible. After this function, they all went back to their respective abodes, following in the footsteps of Lord Vishnu. Purport by our beloved founder Acharya. In modern so-called scientific society, the idea is very prevalent that there is no life on other planets, but only on the earth do living beings with intelligence and scientific knowledge exist. The Vedic literatures, however, do not accept this foolish theory. The followers of Vedic wisdom are fully aware of various planets inhabited by varieties of living entities, such as the demigods, the sages, the pitas, the gandharvas, the panagas, the kinnaras, the charanas, the siddhas, and the apsaras. The Vedas give information that in all planets, not only within this material sky, but also in the spiritual sky, there are varieties of living entities. Although all these living entities are of one spiritual nature, in quality the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they have varieties of bodies due to the embodiment of the spirit soul by 8 material elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. In the spiritual world, however, there is no such distinction between the body and the embodied. In the material world, distinctive features are manifested in different types of bodies in various planets. We have full information from the Vedic literature that in each and every planet, both material and spiritual, there are living entities of varied intelligence. The Earth is one of the planets of the Burloka planetary system. There are 6 planetary systems above Burloka and 7 planetary systems below it. Therefore, the entire universe is not Churdardasha Bhuvana, indicating it has 14 different planetary systems. Beyond the planetary systems in the material sky, there is another sky which is known as Parabhamya, or the spiritual sky, where there are spiritual planets. The inhabitants of those planets engage in varieties of loving service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which includes different rasas or relationships known as Dasha Ras, Sakya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Madhurya Ras, and above all, Parakya Ras. This Parakya Ras, or Paramar Lord, is prevalent in Krishna Loka, where Lord Krishna lives. This planet is also called Goloka Vrindavan, and although Lord Krishna lives there perpetually, he also expands himself in millions and trillions of forms. In one of such forms, he appears on this material planet in a particular place known as, you ready? Vrindavan Dham, Ki Jai. Where he displays his original pastimes of Goloka Vrindavan Dham in the spiritual sky in order to attract the conditioned souls back to home, back to Godhead. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dutta Balakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Devishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So, once again, we are blessed by this wonderful purport of our beloved Srila Prabhupada. Let us dive a little deeply into this ocean of nectarian knowledge given by our beloved Srila Prabhupada. I noticed in the very beginning, in the modern so-called scientific society, what does Prabhupada say so-called? I mean, we got all kinds of things. We got electricity, we have internet, we have airplanes, so many things. Why so-called scientific? Well, the point is, this is actually not real science. Science means to know things as they are. One may manipulate the material energy in various ways, but if one does not actually know the origin of the material energy, their so-called science is nothing but nescience or ignorance. Science and nescience, you see, the opposite, nescience. So Prabhupada then explains the idea there's no life on other planets. This is a very common conception. They went to the moon, they got some rocks. Prabhupada one time explained that even if they actually land on the moon, which is questionable, there's also the Rahu planet out there, which they could have been diverted to the Rahu planet. Even if they did land on the moon planet, the moon beings are not dummies who can just, be overpowered by earth beings. They're very powerful heavenly beings. They could have easily diverted the spaceship to the desert region, just like we have the Sahara Desert. Somebody came to, what is it like on the earth planet? And they diverted to the Sahara Desert. There's no living beings, there's a big desert, you see. So even if they were able to land on the moon, they were diverted to a desert region where there was no heavenly palaces, no heavenly damsels, no heavenly means of transportation, etc., no jeweled palaces, etc. So, we accept from the Vedic literatures that there is life on other planets. So, one can ask, well, why do we accept the Vedic literatures? Why do we accept the Vedic literatures more than modern science? I mean, they've given us so many things, electricity, motor cars, airplanes. Why we don't accept their version of reality? Why we accept the Vedic version instead? One could ask. Why do we do it? Are we a bunch of blind faith fanatics? Are we a bunch of duped cult members? Why do we accept the Vedic version? If some atheist challenged you, what would you say? You're just a brainwashed zombie, a Hare Krishna, been brainwashed by the cult. Why do you accept this true? Why do you accept it as true? If you think about it, I have that book, Truth Works. One can actually experience transcendental ecstasy by diving into this process known as Krishna Bhakti, you see. We accept the Vedic version because we get something here we don't get it elsewhere, you see. We try to get transcendental bliss by smoking cigarettes or having sex or whatever. Tried so many ways to be happy, making money, getting a career job at a big corporation or whatever it may be. We tried to be happy in so many ways, but we didn't get the happiness we desired. What we craved to experience, we were not able to experience, you see. Just like the fish likes to be in the water, isn't it? You may give him so many facilities on the land, a nice couch, a nice movie star wife, a nice iPhone. My dear fish, here's the latest version of iPhone. Now you can be happy. Will he be happy with the latest version of the iPhone? No. Because he is a creature of the water, he will not be happy with all the facilities you may give him on the land. But when you toss that little creature back into the water, wow, this is great. This is fantastic. I'm loving it here back in the water. So this process of Krishna Bhakti, the science of bhakti, actually brings you into a state of ecstatic bliss beyond what you could experience with money, with sex, with drugs, or whatever, power, whatever you could get in the material world. This is why we put our faith in the Vedic version of reality, because we're tasting something here. This is the ocean for us little fishies, you see. We're actually experiencing something here that we did not experience in the modern day so-called scientific world. That's why we put our trust in this. Just like in the U.S. currency, they still have "in God we trust." Now the atheists, I'm sure, want to get it off. They're probably going to try to get together a case to the Supreme Court to get it off the dollar bill. But for now, at least, we still have in the American currency, "in God we trust," you see. We have that trust in God because we actually know something about Him. We know He's not an old man with a beard standing on top of a mountain. We know He's an ever-fresh youth who's all-powerful, all wealthy, all famous, all renounced, all wise. We know something about that person. We know the process of connecting with Him. We know He's actually present within every atom, between every atom. He's even sitting in our hearts as the Paramatma, and we know we have a science of how we can be completely tuned in and turned on to our spiritual identities 24/7, you see. This process actually works. Therefore, we put our trust, you see. We put our trust where we get results. That's why it's scientific. It actually works. It's amazing all the list here of all these different personalities, the demigods, the sages, the pitas, the Gandharvas, the Panagas, the Kinnaras, the Charanas, the Siddhas, the Apsaras. It's pretty amazing, isn't it, a list? And this is only a partial list. Only a partial list. Vedic wisdom knows all these different planets and who resides on it, even the planet of the birds. Can you imagine the whole planet of birds? That's pretty amazing. Planet of the birds. So we have that book, what is that called? Easy Journey to Other Planets. So if you want, you can qualify yourself to the planet of the birds, become a bird. Who wants to be a bird? Anybody want to be a bird? We can qualify ourselves to go anywhere, you see. By worshiping the different demigods of the different planets, the predominating deities of the different planets, we can qualify to go to these different planets. But the difficulty is, on all these planets, you still have birth, death, old age, and disease. It may not be as bad as this planet, but you still have it there on every planet, you see. So we have been taught by our beloved founder Acharya, who is giving us the version of the great sages, the great acharyas of history. We have been learned from him how to go to the topmost planet where there's no birth, no death, no old age, and no disease. So therefore, because we see this, what it's taught us actually practically is working for us, we can verify by our own experiences. Therefore, we take it up. It works, you see. Just like Guru Maharaj gave the example, mentioned when I experienced as a young kid in high school the other day in her class. In the classroom, the teacher said, students, H2O equals water. And now we're going down the hall to the laboratory, and you can do it in the test tube. And we did. I took 2 parts hydrogen and one H2O and 1 part oxygen, and lo, what in the hell, I had water in my test tube. So there's practical knowledge, and there's theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge. In Sanskrit we call it Gyan and Vigyan. So once I actually experienced it in my test tube, then I had full faith that the theoretical version was bona fide. The theoretical version was there, and when I experienced it actually worked, that gave me full faith that yes, H2O does equal water. So in this way, by testing and experimenting with this science, given the theoretical knowledge given in the Vedic wisdom, putting it into practice and actually experience the result, therefore we know, yes, it's true. And it's also nice, go to the next line. Although all these living entities are of one spiritual nature and quality the same as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they have varieties of bodies due to their embodiment of the spirit soul by the 8 material elements. So this is our prisons. We're imprisoned: earth, water, fire, air, sky, mind, intelligence, and false ego. This is our prison. You see. But here is the key how to get out of the prison. Sarvalaman parijaja mamekam sharanam braja. We can get out of this prison by taking the formula to get out of the prison given by the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So you can remain here going through the cycle of birth and death, or that you can loop the loop in the 8,400,000 species again and again if you like. What would it be like to be a demigod? You see? I can really enjoy with there's no invalidity. In fact, the old age doesn't even touch you there, maybe the very end a little bit. Why not go to you can try these if you want. But those who are intelligent realize it's only temporary, whatever is this position. Even if I become a Brahma, you can even become a Brahma and live for the duration of the entire universe, but when Mahavishnu inhales, that's it, this is destroyed, you see. So why take some position which only gives temporary happiness? You see, this is real intelligence. Why not go for that real happiness, you see? The genuine happiness, which is never taken away. Brahma saukyam tvanantam. That happiness which is ever increasing, you see, unlimited, tvanantam. Why not go for that happiness, you see? So those who have taken the process of Krishna consciousness understand that why should I take some happiness which is only temporary, even it may be millions and billions and quadrillions of years, why should I take some happiness which is going to end sooner or later? Why not take that happiness, Brahma Saukam Tvanantam, why not take that happiness which is never taken away by anything? Nothing can touch it. Nothing can touch it. This is the amazing quality, the characteristic of Krishna consciousness. As Prabhupada speaks in the nectar of the Sri Upanishad, do not be disturbed by happiness or distress, knowing that such feelings are just created by the mind. We may be happy or distressed over things going on here in the material existence, but this is just mental concoctions. You see. Why be carried away by mental concoctions when you can actually tune in that level where there's unlimited happiness? It's right there within us right now. You don't have to wait. You can have it right now, this very instant. It's just a matter of being convinced and do it, you see. Okay, my Lord Krishna, here I've been serving my senses for millions and billions of lifetimes, my tongue, my belly, and my genitals. And where has it got me? Another rotting body, you see. So why not become very serious now? Okay, I've had enough of being a slave of my mind, words, tongue, belly, and genitals. I'm tired of being a slave of these rascal things which keep me entangled in the 8,400,000 species. Why not get out of it by taking seriously the liberating process of Krishna Bhakti? Why not take advantage of it, you see? If it doesn't work, well, you can go back to being a monkey if you if it doesn't work, why not make the experiment? We've tried everything else. We've tried being happy as a monkey, as a donkey, as a demigod, as a worm, and the worm in the stool. We've tried so many ways to be happy. Why not try this? Haven't we tried everything else? We've tried everything else, isn't it? We've gone through 8,400,000 different species to try being happy in this way and that way, this way and that way, this way and that way, this way and that way. It didn't give us what we wanted, you see. Why not try, okay, let me give this a try, you see. Let me give it a try. Try it, it works. Why not just experiment with one lifetime, or let me give this one lifetime to Krishna and see what happens, you see. Why not give it a try? And once you actually dive into the process, you will see, wow, this is amazing. This has given me an amazing platform where I can be happy in any situation. In happiness, distress, pain and pleasure, honor and dishonor, poverty and wealth, sickness and health. I can be happy in any situation by tuning into that transcendental plane, the spiritual plane, which is available right now at every instant. You don't have to wait to go back to Godhead. Back to Godhead is right there within your heart. Krishna himself in his expanded form is sitting there side by side with you. He's your best friend. Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. Your very best friend who owns everything, who controls everything, is right with you right now. Why neglect him? Why not turn to him and say, oh, my dear Lord, I'm ready now. Take me, I'm yours. Engage me however you like. I've served the material energy for millions and billions of lifetimes, and where did it get me? Nowhere. Now, my dear Lord, I give myself fully to you. I'm tired of trying to enjoy it in other ways. Let me now fully give myself to you. He's waiting. Actually, we're all the eternal servants of the Lord, but love has to be voluntary. It cannot be forced. So sometimes the foolish living entity says, well, let's try this, make an experiment. Instead of serving Krishna, why not try to imitate and be Krishna, the Lord himself? So Krishna very kindly says, okay, if you want to be the Lord here, take a whole universe. Now you're a Brahmaji. You can trek it out and be the Lord of a whole universe. But one is not satisfied even being a Brahmaji. Well, let me try being this and that, this and that. We try to be happy in this way and happy in that way, and we're not satisfied. Like that old song, I can't get no satisfaction. We try to be happy in so many ways, smoking this, drinking that, mating with this, trying so many ways to be happy, and it never works. We're never happy, we're never satisfied, so why not give this a try? Why not? My dear sir, you've tried so many ways to be happy. Why not give this a try? You see? We see the people who achieve the wealth, the power, even they are not happy. The most powerful, wealthy, famous people, they're miserable. It's like so many rock stars, they had so much money, so much fame, but they took the drugs, so they weren't happy. They took the drugs and just like that one rock star we had from Austin, Janis Joplin. Very famous singer, so much money. I remember I was attending some birthday party west of Austin, and the media came to her. She was famous. She was so disturbed. She said, please have mercy. She said, please have mercy. He being approached as a famous singer, she was so unhappy being worshipped for being a famous singer. Please have mercy. Please leave me alone, you know. She was so unhappy, and she died of a drug overdose very soon after that. You see. Janis Joplin was her name. Big famous singer back in the 60s. Big famous singer. The hippie era. She's so miserable being a famous, singer, rock singer. She was so miserable. You see. So we should learn this lesson for people who actually achieve material success. They're not happy. So why we should run after material success when even those who get it are not happy? But look at the people who were spiritually fixed up. We saw Prabhupada, such an amazing person. You know. You study the life of Prabhupada, it's really, really amazing. It's right there in the Lamrita. Prabhupada Lamrita. You can see what an amazing person. He came with no money, only 40 rupees. He had 2 heart attacks on the boat and a pair of kartals, and he started a worldwide revolution just with a pair of kartals and faith in the order of his spiritual master to spread this message to the English-speaking world. It's amazing. He had no place to live. He was bumped from one place to another, to another, to another, to another. And finally, these young boys got him this storefront at 26 2nd Avenue to help out the Swami, you see. We like the Swami, let's help him out to rent a little storefront from him. And boom, it took off like a rocket. Even now, you go to that park where Prabhupada first had the kirtan, the city put a little sign, Hare Krishna tree, they call it, you see. The Hare Krishna tree. Go to New York, you can find the Hare Krishna tree. It's right there in the tree, Hare Krishna tree. You see. So Prabhupada, even the trees become famous because of Prabhupada, you see, where he had the first kirtans, you see. So we should learn from Prabhupada that if we put faith in Krishna, even if we have no facility, you see, even if we have no material facility whatsoever, no material facility. I lost my job, I'm in great difficulty, where am I going to live? Even if we're in great difficulty from a material situation, never mind, let's remember Prabhupada, you see. Let's remember Srila Prabhupada, how he was so amazingly putting his faith in Krishna, the order of his spiritual master. And the most miraculous things happen, you see. So, there's some saying, remember, there's a famous saying, expect a miracle. I guarantee you, if you put faith in Krishna and Guru, you can expect a miracle. You can expect one miracle after another miracle, after another miracle, after another miracle. That's the kindness of Krishna. Miraculous things happen when you put faith in Guru and Krishna, I guarantee you. I absolutely guarantee if you put full faith in Guru and Krishna, you'll experience so many miraculous things. You see. So many miraculous things happen. You see. Very, very amazing things happen that couldn't have happened otherwise. It's a fact. When you put full faith in Guru and Krishna, amazing things happen. You see. Just like we had that experience, Guru Maharaji, when we're flying from Bulgaria up to Lithuania. I can never forget this. And there's two kinds of countries in Europe. There's part of I call it Schengen, they call it. There's Schengen countries and non-Schengen countries in Europe. So we didn't know all this. Lithuania is Schengen and Bulgaria is non-Schengen. In other words, the Schengen companies, okay, thank you. The Schengen companies don't need a passport to go between them. You can go from Lithuania to Latvia to Estonia, just like it's one country. No passport control, you just drive in like it's all one country. Like in the US, you go one state to another. There's no passport check. So it's like one country in terms of passports. But we had to stop in Warsaw, which is also Schengen. And but going to Bulgaria, to Poland, where's your passport? You got to go through a whole thing. So we had a very tight connection. We didn't realize, they didn't know. We thought it was all like one country. We got to Warsaw, and wow, go to a big queue for passport control. And then a horrible thing happened. I left, there's the security again. I accidentally left my passport in the security situation. I had to go back. Oh, I lost my passport. Oh my God. Woo. We're going to miss the flight for sure. And that's it, finished. Now we're stuck to get a hotel. We missed the flight. It's a horrible thing. Oh, what a horrible thing, The flight has already been closed. Everybody was on the plane. The flight was closed, and we were fried. That was it. We're finished. We missed the flight. Oh. But then we got to the gate and said, oh, there was some problem with the plane, and they had everybody get off the plane. They were all boarded, giving a takeoff. There was some problem. They all got off the plane, and they had to wait. And Krishna covered for us. Somehow Krishna covered for us, even though it was a hopeless thing. We missed the flight, and we got on the flight, you see. So we could see how Krishna is acting, you see. Krishna protected us in that situation. That the whole flight was delayed. Everybody to get off the plane and go back to the waiting area, and we were covered. It was amazing how that happened, you see. So we take this process seriously. It's amazing. It'll be one miracle after another miracle after another miracle. Just give your heart and soul to Krishna, your thoughts, your mind, your words, your deeds in every situation, and you'll see how Krishna is giving you mercy here, giving you mercy there. So many places. Mercy, 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 mercy from Krishna. Do you think Krishna is not merciful? Think he's some cruel, autocrat? No, he's your best friend. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. As I many times explain, Bhoktaram Jakatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gatvamam Shantam Richtati. When he knows me as the supreme controller, the best friend, the supreme owner of everything, I'm the most intimate, well-wishing friend. So just consider this. If your best friend owns everything, controls everything, but you have no problem, you see. I've many times given the example. Let's say you work for some corporation, right? And there's so much politics going on in the office, trying to work their way up the ladder, right? Everybody's jockeying for position, jockeying for raises, for position, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So all the politics going on in the office. But your best friend owns the whole corporation. You have no problems. You're sitting pretty. Well, you kind of laugh at everybody else jockeying positions. Yeah, just see how they're jockeying. You have no problem. Your best friend owns the whole corporation. You just sit there and laugh at all the politics going on around you. So that's our position. You see. Krishna owns the whole thing, everything under his control, and he's our best friend. Intimate, well-wishing friend. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. So I got no problem. I'm sitting pretty here, the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. I have no problem. You see, no problems, you said. There's a big issue in the United States. Who's going to win, Harris or Trump? It's a big fight. They're both rascals, actually. They're both rascals. But we have no problems. We know that Krishna can arrange whatever is going to best facilitate our preaching. They're both rakshasas, to be honest with you. They're both rakshasas. They're both demons. Actually, they're both demons. But we have no problem. Because we know whoever wins, Krishna is going to give us the best facility for pushing forward this movement. So in every situation, we see that Krishna is going to give us the best facility for awakening our Krishna consciousness and pushing forward this movement. Bahir Nasinga, Shridaya Nasinga, we sing it every morning. Krishna within, Krishna without. Nashinga within, Nashinga without. Nashinga within means awakening a pure love of God within the heart, and Nashinga without means making the whole world Krishna conscious. So we know, we sing every morning, Bahir Nasinga, Hridaya Nasinga. Krishna within, Krishna without. We're praying that I can become fully Krishna conscious and the whole world can be inundated with Krishna bhakti. We pray that way every morning. We're praying for a revolution within and a revolution without. And we know if we have that revolution within, Krishna will give us the potency to make this revolution without. If we're full of impurities in our own heart, we can't do anything to make the world Krishna conscious. Physician, heal thyself. But if we actually are serious to become Krishna conscious, we're trying like anything to follow strictly the order of the spiritual master, then we know that Krishna will empower us to do amazing things to attract people to Krishna. Actually, the whole world is living in a nightmare right now. They're all pure devotees. Even the dogs and the cows and the monkeys, the trees and the bugs and the mosquitoes, actually every single living entity is a pure devotee of Krishna right now, entangled in the three modes of material nature. They're just waiting for somebody to give them the mercy to wake them up for their sleeping condition. So we have to take this process very serious, you see. We're sent as welfare workers to pull these people out of their nightmares. Lord Chaitanya is singing, Jeev Jago, Goda Chandra Bole, Kota Nidra Jao Mayam, Pisa Chira Kole. Wake up, you sleeping souls. Wake up, you sleeping souls. Lord Chaitanya is calling, how long will you sleep in the lap of the witch, named Maya? So those who take this process seriously to become pure devotees of Krishna, to kick all the nuns, all the trash within the heart, and to actually try to do everything they can to completely turn themselves on to pure bhakti in their every thought, word, and deed, those persons will have some effect on the world around them. They will have an effect. Doesn't matter where you are, whether you're a corporate worker, a trash collector, a preacher, in any position, if you are serious to be Krishna conscious, you will have an impact on the world around you. And if you take seriously the mission to tell people about Krishna, Jade Deka Karikaha Krishna Upadesh Samaragaya Guru Haryatare Desh, whomever you meet, instruct them in the teachings of Krishna, and this way in martyr you become Guru and you deliver the people of this world. So everybody should be a preacher, little kids, old senior citizens in a wheelchair, everybody should be serious to become teachers of the science, to be gurus, to become science of the Krishna consciousness movement. You don't have to be an initiating guru and acharya. Not everybody should become guru, one who teaches people the science of Krishna. So the process is very sublime, it's very simple. We simply have to take it very seriously, and the miracles will happen. We'll actually have mystical experiences that go beyond what we could ever imagine we could experience. Mystical experiences. We're serious to awaken that Krishna consciousness and share it with the world around us. So there's no problem. The only problem is we keep trying to hug or embrace this bodily conception of life. We keep clinging tightly. I am this body, I am this body, I am this body, I am this body. We're clinging tightly to it, so foolishly, insanely, we're clinging onto this bodily conception of life. Doesn't mean you should neglect your body. The body is an instrument giving you to Krishna. If it's sick or diseased, take some help. There's nothing wrong to take help to get your body in good shape for serving Krishna. But it doesn't mean you become overwhelmed if the body is in a difficult situation. You have to realize, okay, this is what Krishna has given me, this situation. Let me do the best I can to be Krishna conscious in this situation. Not become depressed or bewildered that my body is in this condition. It's not you. Krishna, every situation Krishna puts us in is to help us become free from bodily consciousness. Actually, every situation. It's not that Krishna puts us in some situation to increase our bodily consciousness. No. Every situation Krishna puts us in is to help us become free from the bodily conception of life.
The priest is waiting now.
Waiting for the yajna? Okay. I was told 10 o'clock, but we're going to start 18 minutes early on the yajna. Okay? So now the initiates are all sitting here, and